Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed Q&A session. On these sessions, we answer questions from you guys, right? From you sending me texts, all my masterclass students that are reaching out throughout the week or the last 2 weeks. I take those questions, compile them, and we do some Q&A here so that you can all learn from each other's questions. If you're new to the platform, like, comment, subscribe, leave the comment that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to my free real estate training. It'll show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. And if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We're going to be answering your questions live as we're going through this as well. So make sure you're participating and getting your questions answered. There's no such thing as a bad question, but sitting on the sideline, being a fly on the walls for too long is no way to accelerate in real estate. You got to get active. You have to take action. So let's dive into some of this Q&A. Once again, as you guys have questions, just tap in and we'll just keep flowing for as long as we have questions or until I burn out. So it's me versus you at this point. So the first question we have is, can you really buy a house on a credit card? So I get this question from a lot of people. There are some talking head gurus out there that this is kind of all they pitch is you're going to go out, you're going to get a business credit card, and you're going to put your house on a credit card. And people are just like, well, how does that work? Do I just go to the closing table with my credit card and just kind of swipe the transaction? So the mechanics to this process, the answer is yes, you can purchase a property utilizing credit cards. Is this something that I would recommend? Not necessarily, but not no. Credit is a double-edged sword. For one, if you're going to implement a strategy like this, you better have good credit. You want to have really good credit. And the reason is because you need to leverage many credit cards to do this strategy, or many credit lines, because you never want to push your credit score down by implementing some of these strategies. You don't want to push your credit utilization to the point where you're over 30 or 40% utilization. What does that mean? That means if you have one credit card and your credit limit is $1,000 and you have $400 on that card or more, like $500, your utilization is 50% on your total credit lines. Now, if you had 10 credit cards and each had $1,000 limit, you had 10,000 total credit, you had the same 500 on there, that would only be a 5% utilization. So with this strategy, if you're going to buy properties using a credit card, you need to have big credit lines. And the best way to get big credit lines is to have good credit or reasonable credit. I would say that that's like once you cross into like that 680 range, you're at good credit. Once you get into the 720s, you're kind of better than average, better than most. 740s, you're better than most, like almost everybody. And then you can get like the 800s, the perfect credit scores. If you know people with the 800s, do the piggyback method, get added as an authorized user to their credit, and boost your credit score. And if you want to learn more about credit hacks, watch some of the videos on the YouTube channel that focus on credit, and they'll boost your credit score overnight and get you in this range. So how do you do this? Increase your credit lines. There's something called a cash transfer balance, and certain credit card companies will allow you to do this. So what you'll do is you will get essentially a cashier's check. You'll go into the bank and say, hey, I want a cash transfer check. And this is a check that they will give you if your credit card offers this. So you have to read kind of the fine print, but you can get a check for the balance of that credit card that you can deposit into your banking account. So the strategy would basically be to increase your credit lines, go find credit card companies that will have like a introductory offer, 0% interest for the first, let's call it 18 months, and then get one of these cash balance transfer checks and transfer a portion into a checking account. But once again, you don't want to go past that utilization ratio to where you're negatively impacting your credit. So now you have, let's say if you had $150,000 of credit card lines, which you could do this business credit here, this credit card there, you can kind of build yourself up. Now you take out 40 grand on one of these cash balance transfer checks, direct deposit that into your checking account. Now you have 40K in your account. So you can now leverage that 40K to go put down, 20% down on a deal. You could leverage that with a hard money lender, hard money loan. and go do a burst strategy deal. You could go do a flip with a construction loan. Then when you make your profit off of that flip, and there are some flips out there where you could target $80,000, $100,000 per flip. So now you flip, you make the profit, and then you pay off the credit card. You pay off the hard money lender, and you walk away your profit. So this is a strategy where you can use, 100% OPM, other people's money, to do deals. So you can do it, but it's a double-edged sword in that sense. This is not something necessarily that I would, it's not a matter of recommendation in terms of doing it. It's just a question of, are you ready to do something like that? Some of you aren't ready to use hard money. Some of you aren't ready to go out and really execute on that strategy because you don't understand enough about full gut renovation, construction, and how to navigate the process. So I want you guys to be in a position where you can navigate the process comfortably. And that's what the 100 Keys Masterclass is. The mentorship is about. It's about understanding the stages of full gut renovation, the burst strategy, buying and flipping, doing creative financing, acquiring deals, managing contractors, being your own GC, all of these things. Once you're comfortable, then you can take that knowledge and you can wield it. And you can wield it with OPM, other people's money. So the answer is yes, you can really buy a house or do a deal with credit cards and use that leverage with along with other OPM, like hard money loans, or you could just park that into a deal and collect cash flow and use the cash flow to pay off the credit card. You can do these strategies, but you have to be ready. This is not something for like beginners, which is why I think a lot of the talking head, gurus who talk about this stuff, it's misleading in that sense because they don't give you all the risk. There's a lot of risk with this. There's a lot of risk with hard money, but there's a lot of reward. And if you know how to use it, it can be very conservative by nature, especially when you understand valuations, how to think like an appraiser. Guys, drop your questions in the chat section. We will be answering your questions live. So definitely drop your questions in here. We had a question come in from, we'll just call him the dude. We'll just call him the Big Lebowski, the dude. So, hi, Brian, I'm 19 years old. Can you give me the best books to get the knowledge? One, you need to tap into the 24/7 cash flow playbook. So cop my book, definitely read that. And that will give you kind of the strategy. That was how I scaled up from 0 to over 300 properties in about 5 to 7 years. So that breaks down that strategy. And I got started with that in my 20s, right? So it's going to break down how you can get started. You're 19, you can start this at 20. If you do by 20, I promise you by 24, 25, you could have 100 properties. You could pretty much be fully retired for the rest of your life by 25 if you want to tap into this thing and really go after this thing. So I always get this question, a second question here from the dude is, am I too young to get in the game? Because I'm 19, I feel like I'm young. And you are distracted at 19, right? You might still want to go to the club, want to hang out, video games, there's, social media, there's a lot of distraction. But if you lock into real estate, you will get financial freedom before you ever even get tapped into this rat race type of matrix where you're stuck to the day job, stuck to the desk and working for money, trying to take care of a family and trying to do all these things that most of us wake up in. We wake up at, 30 something and we're just locked in and we can't leave. And we don't have that exit path, which is what the 100 Keys Masterclass is here for. It's the exit strategy to get out of the 9 to 5, out of the rat race and into real estate full time. But some books, definitely tap into the Section 8 Bible. You guys have heard me say this if you've been listening for a while. Tap into the Section 8 Bible. When I first tapped into the Section 8 Bible, it was just volume 1. 2 guys from Philly, South Philly, I think 2 Italian guys. They wrote this book about their journey from 0 to, I think, 400 properties in about 8 years. And all Section 8. And I patterned my entire strategy off of this. Like I read this book and I was like, it's me. It was written for me. It's 2 guys in Philly. This is my thing. And that's how I scaled up to, 300 plus properties in 5 to 7 years and counting. We're full gut renovating 10 deals right now, at once. So it's always happening. That number, we tap in a year from now, 2 years from now, that might be, hey, 500 properties. 1,000 units, whatever it is. It's always going to keep growing. And you want to be in that mindset too. But tap into the Section 8 Bible. Tap into The Richest Man of Babylon. The Richest Man of Babylon is a really good book for you to tap into. And you can tap into the audio book. It's right on YouTube. Just type in The Richest Man in Babylon. There's an audio book. Watch it on 2x the speed. You can cover it in half a day. You can cover it in the commute. And that will educate you on making sure your money's working for you. A lot of us are out hustling, and then we don't pay ourselves first. We don't invest. We don't have our money working for us. A lot of us are afraid to invest in knowledge. We think we're going to lose by investing in knowledge, but then we'll go on take that money, go on vacation, buy the experience versus buying the financial freedom. So just don't get lost out here. But it's a good question. 19, just stay tapped in, stay locked into this channel. You better like, comment, and subscribe. Let me send you the free training, but you need to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. Like, you need to hit the bell, because I'm dropping, I mean, if you guys are really tapped in, I'm dropping 3 videos a week, long form, plus the shorts, but all to educate you. No fluff, no fillers. So stay tapped in and you'll get educated. This is better than a book, because this is the real life book. Quite frankly, this is, trials and tribulations daily. Let's go to the next one. What's up, Brian? This is from Wesley. I'm 24 years old, another young guy. You guys are younger than I was when I got started. I'm a residential electrician by trade and thinking about using credit cards to get into real estate pretty soon. And any tips? Should I consider becoming a GC overall? You already are. So you're already in the biz. You know the lingo. You know contractors. You know contractor games when people are trying to burn you and trying to game you. What you don't know is the finance game. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do credit cards, which I just gave you a big part of the game on that. But you're thinking finance now. You already know how to work with your hands. You already know how to deal with the blue collar contractors. You already know how to stand in the properties. So now the next level for you is getting educated on the entire spectrum of the game. How do you present yourself to lenders? How do you scale up? How do you build systems that allow you to manage and do more than one deal? You already are kind of the GC if you tap in and just reach out to the different resources, put the people together and control the money and control the project. That's what the GC does. It's like the GC does not build everything, right? They just hire all the subs and manage them. But you're in a position, because you already are in that field, to just quickly elevate to that. It's not about the license. It's just about staying tapped in and just taking control. What I would recommend for you, and it's not about my mentorship program. I mean, there's probably nobody better in terms of the one-on-one, like the VIP component of my mentorship program, where we spend time one-on-one. You spend time one-on-one with me at 24 and you're an electrician already, you'll be a millionaire in your 20s, because you are more advanced naturally than I was when I got started. I knew nothing. I knew less than 1% of what I know today. So I had to just get burned for $40,000 on my first deal, have a general contractor run off with my money. And then I said, well, I better be the GC or I'm out. So I had to figure this out, but you're more advanced. So if you tap into mentorship, once again, it doesn't have to be mine, but if you tap into mentorship, if you can get in your mind that once you have knowledge of the full play, how to put all this stuff together, not just the contractors and, building a house. A lot of us envision ourselves standing in a house where with a hammer in one hand, a screwdriver in the other, and we're going to put this thing back together. You watch too much Property Brothers. That's not what this game is. That's not scalable. Scalable is putting the whole play together, being able to put on a suit, which is why we got the jacket in the back, because you got to put on a jacket and the hard hat, right? You got to go sit in the boardroom, convince the lenders, hey, this is the play. This is where our vision is. This is where we're going. You have to be able to talk to the people in your company. Here's the vision. Here's how we're growing. Here's how we're going to elevate. I'm going to line up more deals. You need to have everything put together. And that's what mentorship does for you is it shows you how to get from here to here quickly. At 24, you have endless energy. You can work 20 hours a day, take a 4-hour nap, do it again. And there's no consequence. I can't do that. Not anymore. I could. So if you make it up in your mind to tap in to just get your hands on that knowledge, the lending piece, the financing piece, the full play, how to scale it, how to cut your costs down, how to manage it like a pro, how to be your own GC. There's pros and cons to being a GC. Sometimes you don't want to be the GC because you don't want to be on the paperwork because you're building the house. You're the developer. So you want some third party distance with somebody else as the GC, and it's on their insurance and their workers' comp. So you might want distance. So there's different levels to this game. It's not chess. I mean, it's not checkers, it's chess for real. But if you make up your mind that you're going to do that, you're going to have a lot of success because you're super young, but you're already in the game. You're also in, he said, I'm also Philly based. He said, great way to put it. I'm tapped in. And he's also in Philly. So you're in my backyard. So what are you doing? You gotta reach out. However you got here, if you got here from a text, email, you gotta tap in because you're in the backyard already. I mean, I don't know what to say. All I can tell you is you have a head start. You have a head start. And if you get tapped in, you're gonna win, man. I'm actually here for people like you. And I wouldn't be here because there were guys, we didn't have the social media all set up, but there were guys older than me in the game that were doing it that inspired me. Where I saw them, I said, wow, I want that confidence. I want to be able to execute. And they got me to the level of hundreds of deals just by being there. But they weren't really mentors. They weren't really breaking the game down. I was just studying them. But if we break the game down for you, Philly is a gold mine. It's wide open. You just got to stay tapped in, man. Just stay tapped in. Just stay tapped in. Any questions out there, guys? Just tap in. Drop a question in the chat. Hit that. Yeah, somebody said hit that like. I appreciate that. Like, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, man. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like, comment, subscribe, leave the comment that says I subscribed. For everybody who leaves the comment that says I subscribe, I'm going to send you instant access to the free training, show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. Don't want to miss out on that free offer. Hey, Brian, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We're still here. 2023. We're still rocking. It's a good year too. It's always a good year for real estate. Real estate's always changing. It's always a good year for real estate. What's your favorite business banks for credit cards, lines of credit? I mean, if you guys can do like the Navy Fed, you guys already know Navy Fed is rocking. So if you can get in there, you get in there. I mean, don't let me slow you down. Amex is good. Amex is nice because especially when you're flowing in renovations, Amex can give you just that wiggle room where you could just slam everything on the Amex, especially if you're in a hard money deal. Slam it all in the Amex and then shift that over from the hard money. Go call out the draw inspector, get reimbursed, pay off the Amex. Then they'll boost your limit up. Amex can be really good for this game, in my opinion. Amex, I'm all about. But just tap in. I mean, you want to have multiple credit lines. You want to have multiple credit cards. If you're like me, you grew up like me, I was told, like, don't get a credit card because it's dangerous and you don't want to get, jammed up because there wasn't a high financial education that was given to me. I had to go into financial planning, become a certified financial planner and manage money for millionaires and kind of learn from other people's habits. But, get your credit game up, get your credit cards up. Do the piggyback methods, do the credit hacking in the videos. I tap into the YouTube channel. I put up the videos that show you how to improve your credit, how to boost your credit score. So just tap in and keep elevating yourself. So it's not about the bank. It's just about the process, guys. It's just about the process. We got a question. How much is the mentorship program from the dude? You got to tap in. So we do have group courses that are a little cheaper, that are on discounts. But the one-on-one, the VIP mentorship where we get to spend time, one-on-one, it's a little bit, it's not, I won't call it expensive. It's probably, for one-on-one mentorship, it's probably the most affordable one-on-one mentorship program in the game. And I'll stand on that because I know these guys and they don't spend any time with you one-on-one, which is why a lot of people come to me and they're like, Brian, I got into 3 group courses. I got no results. Nobody spent time with me one-on-one. And I just feel like I can't get help. And I'm like, come tap in. We're going to show you how this thing is really done and how to get results and how to get a runway with this thing. So it's definitely doable for the average bear, we'll say. So tap in. If you want to learn more about the VIP, however you got here, shoot me a text, drop an email, book a call, and we'll talk one-on-one about the mentorship program. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. And we'll get you plugged in. We'll get you guys tapped in. We're renting out units from Ace Deuce, which is a good poker hand. When renting out units, is it better to go with W-2 or subsidized? In terms of, you're going to have to rephrase that question. I'm not exactly sure what the question is on that. When renting out units, is it better to go with W-2 or subsidized? Maybe you mean, is it better to go with people whose incomes are like, they're just regular working folks, or people who are like low income and they're on those vouchers? And that's just a byproduct of your comfort zone. A lot of people will invest into the low income housing, the people on the Section 8 vouchers and the government subsidies, because that money's coming from Uncle Sam. That money's coming from the government. And it's steady. I mean, it's going to direct deposit into your account on the first of the month, like every month, like clockwork. So there's nothing wrong with that money. But then with the W-2 game, it moves faster. So if you're just going to rent out your property to the average person who's working, workforce housing, that property can get rented out quickly within like 2-3 days. If you put it up on the market, it's priced right, and it's a nice product, it's going to rent out quickly. If you're doing this game and you're trying to do like the government housing stuff, those properties get tenanted slower. It might take a couple of months to get fully tenanted and locked in. So it's just a matter of, what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. Yeah, already dropping gems. Guys, hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. For everyone who subs up, I will send you instant access to my free real estate training. It'll show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. We said I fell off, but I'll be talking to you soon. Dante, let's go. You just took a little break, but we're going to get you back in this game. And that's the thing. That's why I stay tapped in for you guys. Sometimes life hits you. The things happen. You're not ready yet. Some people just aren't ready. I was talking to a guy earlier today. I'm like, yo, are you ready to change your life? Are you ready to go for this thing? He's talking about taking a vacation. And I'm like, bro, you're stuck in a 9-to-5. What are you taking a vacation for? I'm talking about putting in a couple years in real estate so you can break free from the 9-to-5 for the rest of your life. And you're like, I want to tap back in after the vacation. And I'm just like, come on, man. You got to stay locked into this thing. You got to stay locked in. If you stay locked in for a couple years, the real estate game is going to give you everything. It's just going to give you everything. But you got to stay locked in. It's your job. But Dante, you're right here. Like, you're already in the mentorship program. So you take a little break, you come back. We're going to pick up right where we left off. Right where we left off. And there's nothing wrong with taking a refresh every now and then. From my guy, James crushing it right now. You guys should go follow his Instagram. James is really, really getting it in right now. He says this is the only, all caps on, only one-on-one course that I know of where you have direct access to a mentor that's doing deals. Tap in. I mean, it just is what it is. And James tapped in. He took the leap of faith. You guys know my mentor gave me the principle, jump and a net will appear. If you take that leap of faith, that net will appear. And in many ways, the mentorship program is that net. If your leap of faith is into real estate, that mentorship program is in that. If you take the leap of faith and going on Craigslist and grabbing a GC who gives you a cheap quote, you'll probably get burned. You probably should tap into mentorship first if you want to elevate to that next level. You should probably bet on yourself. Tapping into mentorship is an investment in you, not me. Which is why I say it's not about my program. There's other mentorship programs, but no matter where you sign up, it's an investment in you. The reason most people don't sign up for mentorships because they don't believe in themselves. It's not that you don't believe in me. You probably know I can get you to where you want to go and I can give you the knowledge, but you don't believe in you enough yet to take that investment and put it on you, on your own knowledge, because the knowledge I'll give you in this game, you can take with you and make money for the rest of your life. This stuff works. I put together a rehab budget today for one of our masterclass students who's from Texas on an 8-unit project in the middle of Dallas, like South Dallas. Thing's a cash cow. 8 units, all 2-bed, 1 bath. It's a nice shell. So she sends out 3 contractors. They're going to give me full bids, Brian. And I take our deal analyst. For you guys who don't know, when you're in the mentorship program, we have a deal analyst for you now that can help you to do research and locate deals and run numbers and pull comps and show cash flow analysis and all that stuff. So we hand it off to the deal analyst, and he's looking at the numbers. I trained him up for a couple of weeks, and with the same stuff I train you guys up with. And he runs the budget, and he's like, this thing's going to cost $333,000 and $164. $333,164 to put together. And I'm like, all right, let's see what the bids come back in. Bids come back in 160, 150, 140. And I'm like, we on it. They put a little markup on it, but it doesn't matter where it's at in the country. It doesn't matter. Why? Because materials are national and labor is what it is. Most of these guys make what they make, no matter where they're at. It can get cheaper, but if we run it at regular market standard rates and the cost of materials, square footage adjusted, you can put together a budget. You can put together a budget, guys. Calvin, if you want the book, just email me. I'll send you the 24/7 cash flow playbook. If anybody wants the book, just email me. I'll send you guys, and I might be able to grab a link while we're on here. As we're flowing and just drop it in the chat, so you guys can click the link out of the chat and just grab the cash flow playbook. Nice of you to share this wealth of knowledge from Lancelot, Sir Lancelot. Look, I'm giving you guys the game because people can recognize the real from the fake. If you can't, you have to develop some type of an internal compass to be able to tell. Because you need that in this game. You need to be able to trust your gut and say, look, I think this guy's full of it. If you think I'm full of it, tap out. I'm not. I'm giving you the real. But if that's how you feel, you can tap out. Trust your compass either way, whatever it is. But you need a compass and you need to be able to trust your gut feeling in this game because it does come down to that a lot. You don't know if a contractor is real or not, but you can ask them some questions, do my interview questions. And then if you're not getting a good feel, maybe you walk, maybe you test them out. They say, I want $250 a day. Maybe you're like, I'll give you $150 a day for a week. We'll see, if you are who you are, say you are, then we'll bump you up. But you have to trust that compass. But I'm here to give you guys the real. Somebody asked me, Brian, how do I know that you're not holding back information? I said, the easiest way to hold back information? I said, how? Don't have a mentorship program. Don't be on YouTube Live. Don't be sharing knowledge. It's real easy to hoard information. I've already done hundreds of deals. I'm here to give. If I didn't want to, I just wouldn't be here. It's not that difficult. I'm in one mentor right now that's iffy. I'm learning, but he's not accessible as I hope. How one-on-one is your one-on-one? I mean, it's as one-on-one as it gets. I mean, I don't want to put all my stuff out there, but I mean, this is just like the last 3 hours. People texting me. Like I have my people, you can text me directly. And we're getting back, right before, like I was just texting one of our people 31 minutes before the call started, like 4 minutes before this call started, we're texting back and forth. James just told you, and he's always blowing me up, but it's fun Cause he's like, Brian, I don't have anybody to talk to about real estate at this level. And I just enjoy chatting about this stuff from time to time. So we're always talking. I'm walking to school, pick up my son. I'm on a call with my guy, Mike from Baltimore. And we're talking about a deal and how to negotiate and what the closing costs are going to be. And is the title company full of it? And is the seller's agent crazy? It's just real estate. My life is wake up, meditate, take the kids to school, work out, real estate. So I love this stuff. So I'm not the guy to duck you. Here's the reality though. A lot of these guys, they don't like real estate. They just do it because they figured out they're good at marketing and they can sell people into programs and make money. So their whole goal is, I'm going to sell you into a program and make money. And then once you get in, they hide from you. I don't hide from anybody. We have one-on-one Zoom calls. We have one-on-one text and email access. We do these live calls every week. So that's 3 touch points. One-on-one Zoom calls, meaning one-on-one. Text and email access, meaning you're texting me, I'm texting you. We're answering questions. We're getting results. We're advancing. We're accelerating. Weekly calls to tap into, ask anything about real estate. Which one of these talking head gurus gets on a live and says, ask me anything about real estate, and then actually answers your questions to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th degree, 5th, 6th, 7th degree sometimes? None. So it just is what it is. But one-on-one means one-on-one. It means we're working at this together to get you results. Because here's the thing I know. I'm so good at teaching you that you're going to run out of questions. It's like trying to stump the Schwab. Like, you're not going to do it. You're going to run out of questions before I run out of answers. And then you're just going to be super educated. And everything's in the course as well. So I can redirect you to the course. Go watch this, go watch this, go watch this. This is going to elevate you. So I'm good at my job. My job is to get you to where you should be 10 years from now, if you were just kind of failing forward, and to accelerate you there in 6 months. And I'm very good at it. So trust me, some people come in, they're like, I'm gonna blow Brian's phone up. I'm gonna ask so many questions, and they run out. Everybody taps the mat. They're just like, man, I don't have any questions anymore. I know what to do. And then I'm like, go. Let's get results. Let's get a deal. Then you do it. Once you do this game one time, it's riding a bike. You can do it 100. Oh, I don't have the money. I tap you into my lender. They'll give you 100%. They'll give you 100%. I'm going to take away all of everything that's holding you back. I'm going to remove it from you. And then when you have nothing holding you back, you're just going to go out and take action. Guess what? There's less questions when you're taking action because you're in it. Everything starts to make sense because you're looking at it and you can put your hands on it. And then you're like, I got it, because you know now. There's no like, I believe in real estate. I hope it works for me. You know it works for you because it's working for you, because you're doing it and you're getting the results. And that's what we call the Donnie difference. But it's as one-on-one. The mentorship is as one-on-one as one-on-one gets. My guy Andres, he was a skeptical. My New York guy who's out in Philly. I'm the Philly guy out in New York. Andres tapped in. He took the leap of faith. I will give it to him. He was on the fence, and he's like, let me get into this. I believe something about the energy of the interaction we had. He was like, I believe in this. Let's go. I don't even know if it's been 30 days, Andres. He just got approved for 100% financing. I gave him my best lender. I've done 100 deals with these people. Here you go. On a silver platter. Nobody gave me this. Nobody. Here you go. You're on my team now. Tell them I sent you. Let them roll out the carpet. Boom. He's approved. 100% financing. Does that open doors to now have 100% financing? And then you got my deal analyst behind you, where we can feed you. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So just what's in the book, in the 24/7 cash flow playbook, just tap in. It's the recipe. What's in the book is the recipe for making money in real estate and feeding your family and breaking free from the 9-to-5. It's how I got free from the desk. Nobody was more miserable in a 9-to-5 than me. I should line up all my coworkers from the past. Nobody was more miserable in the 9 to 5 than me, because I was just like, I wasn't meant for this. I was meant for more. But nobody would put their head down and grind harder than me in the 9 to 5 either, because the 9 to 5 was my partner and they were paying me to invest in real estate. They were my partner in real estate in my head. Mental games. You have to train your mind to get ahead in this game. You have to be that locked in. So that's what the cash flow playbook is about. That's what it's about. Definitely just join. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Leave the comment that says I subscribe. For everybody who subscribes, I'm going to send you instant access to my free real estate training. Shows you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. Thanks, bro. Brian at 247cashflowuniversity.com. Brian at BRIAN at 247cashflowuniversity.com. That's how you can shoot me an email. And you can check however you got here, the text, the email, just tap in. Richard's one of the biggest supporters of the channel. I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. Every time I drop a video, Richard is on that like, he's dropping a comment. I appreciate that. And nothing goes unnoticed. We're just about to cross over 7,000 subscribers. We got a goal of hitting 10,000 real soon. So everybody just stay tapped in here. And I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys because I do this for you guys. So I appreciate when you guys kind of share the feedback and the love, because I only am here for you. I'm only here to serve and give you guys the knowledge. I already had the knowledge. I don't care, right? I'm not here to get knowledge, although working with you guys is a gift in itself, because as I continue to go through the process with you guys, it's weird when you get really far in real estate, you could forget at times more than you realize. Like you could forget like a whole chapter of knowledge. And then one of you asks a question and I'm like, boom, all this information comes back, which is why I go on these rants sometimes. Well, all the time. But it just brings out so much knowledge. And it's like I'm learning as I'm hearing myself spit off some of this knowledge. I'm like almost sitting there watching and learning from myself as well, with you guys. So I appreciate you guys for that. Yeah, look, the Mad Millionaire. Look, she's the Mad Millionaire. She also took the leap of faith and got into the mentorship program. And she's a studier. She's somebody who really will sit down and take notes and tap in and lock in. And she's like, man, this thing is thorough. No stone goes unturned in this 100 Keys Masterclass. People are like, Brian, can I learn about buying properties from the tax sale? Yep. How about tax liens? Yep. How about creative financing subject to lease purchase option? Yep. We're covering it. Buying and flipping. Yeah. Buying and holding. Yeah. Bird strategy. Yeah. Full gut renovation. Yeah. How much construction costs? Yep. Property inspections. Yeah. How can I evict these tenants? Got you. Can I get off the squatters? Sure. I mean, we're covering everything. I'm going to drop a section on commercial financing and the commercial game, how to get into the commercial game as well, and bring in some specialists on that too. Because I got a bunch of buddies in this field, and I'm working on a project right now. So definitely going to keep you guys tapped in. Look, we got more 100% financing, 100% financing. And it's for you guys. Yeah, Brian's the real deal. Look, Andres he's just walking it, man. And I know I tell you guys a lot, and I'm like, look, this can happen for you. These doors can open. The 100% financing's there. And I give you guys this stuff. But to me, the joy is watching Andres get the 100% financing, because I already got it. But I want to give it away to other people so that you guys can go out and make $1 million. That's my mission. My mission is to make you a millionaire, to help you to get out of the 9 to 5, Because when you get out of the 9 to 5, what you don't realize is you create jobs. In order to scale up, you have to create jobs. So you start creating jobs and opportunities for other people. And it's a gift that just keeps on giving to everybody. So it's just all great to me. It's just all great to me. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Leave the comment that says I subscribe. I'm just flowing through some of your comments, and we have more questions even to tap into, but keep them coming if you guys have more questions or anything. I'm out here in Houston looking to get into sub 2. As far as the sub 2 contracts, my attorney should know how to structure a deal properly if I find one, right? You definitely want to, we will give you, if you're in a mentorship program, either the group course or the one-on-one, we will give you the contracts, like the boilerplate sub 2. And we even have a section where I walk you through how to fill it out. This was like the hidden information, in my opinion, which is like, some people talk about subject to, and they're like, oh, there's contracts. But then it's like, well, how do I fill it out? Is somebody going to walk me through how to really fill this out before I get to somebody's kitchen table? Yeah, we walk you through that. But with any real estate contract, especially when you get into creative financing, you need to have your local real estate attorney vet the contract, because this contract law is all about what happened when some judge made a ruling. And a judge could make a ruling like yesterday, and that could impact all future contracts. So you just want to make sure you're working with an attorney, that they're vetting the contract and keeping you protected, because it is creative financing. It is on the leading edge, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So having that attorney, spend a little extra money on the attorney, is going to save you, nightmare situations. So I always recommend, no matter what, you just tap into the attorney, and you guys will be in good position. But that's a good question. But definitely you can get into this thing. The ARC, thanks for selflessly sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. May God continue to bless you and prosper. Guys, we're out here for you. This is all just about you guys, really. I'm just a messenger for this. I mean, I was gifted with a lot of this information to give it to you guys. So happy to be of service there. What's my score? What does my score need to be to get financed? I mean, you want to, when you're playing this real estate game, you want to get your credit score into the 680 range, because that's when red flags go down. Can you get deals done with less than a 680? Yes, you can. But you're going to run into more brick walls. You're going to hear the word no. Now, if you're me and you hear the word no, that's just like, it's my first no. It's just my first no to me. I've heard no until I get to the yes. Then once I get to the yes, then I take the yes back to all the other no's. And then some of them say yes, because that's the game. You parade your yes around. So no is just the first no. And you will hear no a lot when you're under that 680. But that's just an opportunity for you to tap into, my video on how to boost your credit score, some of the overnight strategies, the piggyback method, the Experian boost, the rapid rescores. I break it all down for you and where you can go and how to do it. If you're in a mentorship program, it's also there. You also get my my ebook, 101 Ways to Improve Your Credit, where we break down 101 ways to improve your credit score. So credit is cash is king, but credit is king in real estate. In my opinion, credit is king now. Maybe cash was king, and cash still is king in some ways, because you need to have a cash position. But credit is king, because with credit, you can get the 100% financing. Then you don't need that much cash. Guys, stay locked in. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave the comment that says I subscribe. We're just about to cross over 7,000 subscribers, which is a blessing in itself. So we're just staying tapped in. Appreciate you. Happy to give the info. Please explain multifamily 4-door financing calculations. 4-door, that's such a broad question. So I don't know how to explain like necessarily the financing calculations. We have to maybe compress that question a bit. But multifamily, all financing is based off value. So let's just take it high level and not necessarily for family, but for family falls within residential. Within residential, you're dealing with after repair value, with comps, what things are selling for. So what you need to look at is, what are 4 family buildings, 4 doors, 4 units selling for around that property within a square mile. usually a half mile, but you can go out up to a square mile. In a city, in a rural area, you can go out up to 2 miles. What are they selling for? Once I have that, I can back in to value from there. So I can kind of back my way into the value at, a lender will give you 75% of the after repair value. So let's say that number was $1 million for the 4 unit. They'll give me 750,000. And then once I had that 750, I'm looking at, well, can I purchase it for $250,000, 300,000, invest 200,000 into it? Now it's worth XYZ. I can put a mortgage on it, rent it out, cash flow it. So you're always working backwards in this game. I'm always working from what's the property's highest value? What can I buy it for? Is there a spread? What I call the developer spread. 200,000, 300,000, sometimes 400,000 of wiggle room between what I buy it for and what it will ultimately be worth when I'm done with it. And then I operate within that developer spread. I renovate, improve the value, and then refinance out or sell or flip and then make the profit. But that's where the profit is. It's in the spread. So you're always, I tell people, no matter where you drop me, if you drop me in, put me in a parachute, drop me in any major city all across the country. And when I land, I'm going to pull comps, build construction crews, tap in with lenders. And in 30 days, I'll be doing deals. Doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter where. Let's keep tapping in. Definitely subscribe. With your program, is it easier to help someone that has a high credit score but not a lot of money? I don't think so, because look, there's so many ways to skin the cat. So it's not hard to help you if you have a high credit score and a little bit of cash, because I'm just going to show you how to squeeze the most out of that credit score, right? But even if you had a little bit of cash and a lower credit score, I can show you the creative financing game. If you had a lot of cash and a low credit score, I could still show you different ways to leverage that. There's land games where you could just flip land and become a millionaire just flipping land, just flipping cash. And if you have, what you need, here's the game in a nutshell. There's 2 things in real estate: knowledge, money. The less you have of one, the more you need of the other. So if you have $1 million, forget credit. Just put that aside. If you have $1 million, you don't need any knowledge. Just go out there and blow all your money. Go blow $500,000 and you'll figure it out. You're probably still better off tapping into mentorship and not blowing $500,000. But if you're just bent on doing it yourself, then go blow half of your money and you'll figure it out. If you don't have all that money, then you need $1 million worth of game. And then you don't need $1 million to get the results. So it's just about that supply, that dynamic between money, knowledge. Those are the only 2 things in real estate that matter. Yeah, tap in if you guys want the book. Just email me. I'm easy to get a hold of. Yeah, the course, the mentorship program is not free, but like, comment, subscribe. If you leave that comment that says I subscribe, shoot me an email, Brian@247cashflowuniversity.com, 247cashflowuniversity.com. I'll send you instant access to that free training. Like, comment, subscribe. Wholesale, we need details. You got to be more specific. But yeah, we definitely are going to break down that wholesale game. This is a good question. Do you have any game on mobile home investing? I try to stay away from that. Here's the reason why. I don't like the tax prospects of the average mobile home investing strategy, because it's taxed similar to like a car and not like real estate. And a big part about this game is tax benefits. I almost crushed a guy who's in just the creative financing space, because he wanted to argue with me that creative financing was better than the BRRRR strategy. And I was like, but bro, you could acquire 100 properties with the BRRRR strategy and generate $1 million tax loss and still make a lot of cash flow. So how are you going to beat my $1 million tax loss with cash flow and 100 properties with your creative financing strategy? I'm not saying creative financing is not extremely powerful, but you don't want to get into a tax discussion with me, and he ran away. He ran away. Taxes are very important. The tax code was written for landowners and business owners, and that's it. So if you're getting a W-2, if you're a W-2 employee, tax code wasn't written for you. If you're just working a 9-to-5, tax code wasn't written for you. You're paying the most taxes. This is why people get mad at like the millionaires and the billionaires. They don't pay any taxes, but they create jobs, and they do pay taxes. It's just in different forms, property taxes and some of these different forms. But the tax code was written for landowners and business owners. So you have to become a landowner or a business owner or both. And by being a real estate investor, you become both. Now the tax code is to your advantage. And this unlocks a lot, especially if you have a spouse who is still working W-2 and you can get full-time real estate. Once you become a SEP, and you can ask your accountant about that, once you qualify for that, if you can generate $500,000 of losses in real estate, let's say you didn't even make any money, you just are bad, but you generate all these losses and your spouse made $500,000. These are just hypothetical numbers. Your losses could offset all of their income. You could get a freaking stimmy check and your spouse is making $500,000 and you get a stimmy. You have to play this tax game. You got to play the tax game. You got to play it. Are you a flipper or a buy and hold type of guy? There's a saying, I never met a developer that didn't regret selling the property. So every property you sell, there's going to be a part of you, especially if you built it. Like we have our boots on the ground program where I build houses for our boots on the ground members. And we flip a lot of those. But it's kind of a different vibe because I'm building the house, for you in that program. Now, if you take the time and build the house yourself and you have the crews and you're like watching this house and you selected it and you built it and you watch the rehab and you manage it every day and it can cash flow and you sell it, there's going to be a part of you. Like I sold one house and I keep getting alerts. Like Redfin is kind of annoying sometimes, but it keeps sending me like email saying, oh, the property's worth this. And it just keeps going up in value, right? Like I sold it for 220. It's up to like 260 from the email appraised value. And it hurts. It hurts at times. But, it's just part of it. I am a buy and holder by nature. But when I talk about real estate, and this is different than what you'll hear out there, what you will hear out there from a lot of people is, here's what you're going to hear about real estate. My strategy is the best. You got to do Airbnb. Everything else sucks. You got to do creative financing. Everything else sucks. You got to flip. Everything else sucks. You got to buy and hold. Everything. None of it's true. What's true is the market is king. The market is doing what it's doing. And you need to treat this like football. If they're blitzing, you don't want to sweep right into the blitz. You're going to get crushed. You're going to get destroyed. You want to have enough tools in your arsenal to flex depending on what the market's doing. So if prices are going up 18% year over year, you might flip a couple, pop them into the market, create more liquidity. So then when the market pulls back, you can put more into the buy and hold. So even if you are a buy and holder by nature, you might have an inclination that let me get out of this buy and flip real quick, or buy and hold real quick and flip, and then take the profits and hold. So you just have to be able to ebb and flow, which is why in the 100 Keys Masterclass, we teach you all the strategies. We teach you all these different strategies so that you can flex depending on what the market's doing, so that you're not sweeping right into a blitz, right? So that's the philosophy. And that's a different philosophy. That philosophy is not a marketable philosophy, but it's the truth. The marketable philosophy is, if you're not doing Airbnb, you're crazy. My way is the best. Everybody else is stupid. That's why you should listen to me. That's the us versus them marketing strategy. And a lot of people sign up for those courses and then find out when, like what happened in New York, where they just ban Airbnb, that you get crushed. You just get crushed. Oh, they banned Airbnb in Atlanta. Oh my God. You're crushed now. You're crushed. So because you don't have other strategies. But if you were in a 100 Keys Masterclass, you have other strategies. You wouldn't care. You just be like, all right, I'm going to flex over here and keep going, because I need you guys to be able to support yourselves, your family for life. So you have to be able to adjust with the game. No matter how old you are right now, you're here, you're young, you're making it happen. You wake up every day like everybody else. You got 24 hours like everybody else. You're making it happen. And you have to be able to adjust to the market, because if you're doing it for long enough, the market's going to change. Do you use any type of automation? If so, which ones? I do use automation, but here's the thing. What's better than automation is good people. Getting virtual assistants, getting good people that can tap in and provide you support. Because and getting boots on the ground. So it's all about people in this game. It's not necessarily about systems. And some of the best systems are the people and the systems that you build around the people. So you take people, really good people, and you put technology into them. You tap them into technology, and you create systems around that technology that allow you to air traffic control a real estate operation. That's the simplest way I can put it. And that is the power. That is the power. So it's not necessarily that there is automation or technology out there that's just like the silver bullet. You're the silver bullet. Once you have the knowledge, which part of being a developer is seeing the full picture. It's like the full aerial view of everything that's happening within the real estate operation. And then creating the systems for the people who are in other divisions, like your GC or your team lead. He's just managing the construction. So there's systems you'll have to create for him because he's in the day-to-day. And you can see we're spending too much time at Home Depot. If I can create this efficiency and remove that, now I can accelerate, make his life easier. Cool, I solved that. Now I need more eyes and ears. I need more inspections over here. I need this over there. And I need that guy to have a smartphone and tap him into this application. And then boom, he's solved. Now in my back office, I'm getting swamped here. I need to be able to see more deals. I need to be able to get up more offers. So I need more virtual assistants, and I'm going to give them this software and this system and train them up on it. Boom, that's solved. And you keep solving things out. If you tap into the 100 Keys Masterclass, I give you all my systems, all the technology, all the strategies, everything that's battle tested that I've done over hundreds of deals. But this is the philosophy behind it. This is the philosophy. If a property is quick claimed into my name and I hold the deed, can I not get the tax benefits? No, you can get some of the tax benefits. So whoever pays the mortgage gets the mortgage interest write-offs. Whoever pays it. Doesn't matter whoever's the debt is in their name gets it, whoever pays it. So you can get some write-offs, but it's not just about those tax benefits. See, the real question is, if you full gut renovated a property with a burst strategy, how much of a tax loss could you take in year one with bonus depreciation? Because I've had deals on let's say on a $250,000 deal, you might be able to take $80,000 of losses in year one off of that deal by doing the burst strategy. Now, what if you did 10 of those? Now, what if you did 40 of those? How much losses could you generate in that burst strategy? So it just puts you in a different game. Trust me, I played in all of it, right? It puts you in a different arena from a tax perspective to be a full developer than even creative financing. Not to say you shouldn't do creative financing. You should, especially if you're starting off with little to no cash and maybe you have like compromised credit. So you should look into this. You should look into some of this stuff, and you should get into the game. The best way into the game is into the game, off of the sidelines. A lot of you are so smart. Look, I'm a Columbia guy, right? I've been surrounded by smart people. I'm analytical. My brother's an engineer. He's analytical. Analytical people get paralysis through analysis. It's called paralysis through analysis. We're so smart. We're cranking numbers and we can't move. We can't get off the couch. We can't get it going because we're still trying to solve the puzzle. The solution to the puzzle is to get out there and get to the action. because there are people who aren't as smart as you who are executing because they just tap in and they go for it, and they're winning because real estate has a very high win rate. I believe it was I was watching something recently that said over 70% of the people who stick with real estate for 2 years or longer are profitable. That's huge. Think about it. 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Over 70% of the people in this real estate business win. And that's why real estate makes more millionaires than any other business. DSCR, did I spell it right? But I think you know what I mean. Yes, debt to service coverage ratio. It's just a ratio. Like if you had $1,200 a month coming in rent, $1,000 a month in mortgage, taxes, insurance, and kind of money going out, you would have a 1.2 DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. And this is what asset-based lenders, people who lend money based on the DSCR, that's what they look at. So this is just a cash flow analysis. So you did say it right. Do I do Airbnb? I have a video on my YouTube channel called Airbnb Bust. Airbnb Bust. And a lot of people are losing a lot of money in Airbnb right now. Not that I'm against Airbnb. I have a cousin. He does Airbnb out in the Poconos. Guy's crushing it. But when I talk about Airbnb, I talk about it as an experience. So he has a property out in the Poconos, created this experience, got his sons together. I mean, it's really magical, especially for somebody who loves real estate. Like I'm watching it, I'm standing in the house. He built a fire pit. He bought a big plot of land and it's out and it's got this beautiful view. And he put this big bay windows and you can just look out into the forest. I mean, it's awesome. Hot tub. And the place just rents out like hotcakes. You can go there. He makes a ton of money and you can go skiing and snowboarding and horseback riding. And it's an experience. That's an experience. So if you do Airbnb as an experience, you can make a lot of money. And it makes sense. But if you just try to crank, I'm going to scale 100 Airbnbs, they're going to change the regulation and you're going to lose money. New York dropped a regulation, and this was January 1st, 2023. It's projected to wipe out 10,000 Airbnb units out of New York overnight. So why would you want to scale a business into that? That's not how the average person is going to make money. That's how the average person is going to get burned. So for me, it's a strategy, but there's too much negative regulation behind it or around it for it to be scalable. So it's not an area of focus to me. And that's why the people who are like pounding the table, oh, you got to do Airbnb. They're just trying to sell you, pitch you into a program. Because they know it's Airbnb bust. And a lot of people are just sitting on deals. They're vacant. Do the research. Look out in the Midwest. A lot of these Airbnb units are just vacant, not making any money. I don't like the model. I don't like the model and how people attack it. I think there's better strategies. When doing a home renovation, should an investor get workman's comp insurance? Would a builder's risk policy be enough? Builder's risk is enough. For the lender, it's enough. And you should make sure your GC. So even if I have a GC and they have the workers' comp and they're hiring the subs, I'm controlling the money and I'm still the GC. The GC is the person who controls the money, period. It's not the person with the license. It's not the person with GC on a piece of paper. It's the person who controls the money, who pays for the materials, and who is locked in. A lot of you want to hire a GC just so you don't have to be locked in. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. How much is the mentorship? You have to tap in. You have to tap in. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, and we have to talk one-on-one to see if this is a good fit. Sometimes people are just like, hey, what's the price? It's not about the price. I will tell you, this is the most accessible, affordable one-on-one mentorship program on the market bottom line. So that's what the price is. But I don't even reveal the price to people who aren't a good fit. I only work with 2 to 3 people a month that are a good fit. So, but tap in. If anybody wants to learn about it, tap in. But I can't work with everyone, right? I can't do one-on-one mentorship for everyone. But definitely tap in and we can talk about the price. But first, we have to talk about what's involved in the mentorship program and if it's a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit, I'll tell you. What is your opinion of this current speculated market crash and possibly a currency crash? And what exit strategies would you recommend for cash in the bank protection from the speculation? So it sounds like you've been watching CNN, maybe. Look, there's a lot of fear mongering out there because it's clickbaity. It gets a lot of attention. The real estate market is local. It is not national. So there are some markets that are getting crushed right now and that are super speculative. So how can we calculate speculation? It's a multiple, and you sound like a stock guy. So I'm going to speak to this. And currency crash, there's a lot of inflation. That'll get curbed. The Fed's just going to suck the money back out of the market. And they're going to curb a lot of that. But you're a stock guy. So let's talk stock lingo. PE ratio. Price to earnings ratio. So in real estate, there's kind of a PE ratio, and it's median income to median sales price. So what that means is if the median income in Philly is $50,000 a year, then there's a 6x multiple to 7x multiple of affordability for the average American, which means the average American could afford 6 to 7x 50,000. Which is $300,000 to $350,000. That's how much house the average American can afford. So once you get outside of that, now you're in bubble territory in various degrees. If you go to California, you're at like a 20x for that average American affordability. So you're in a bubble. But if you come to parts of the Midwest, the Northeast, you're still at a 6 or 7. So you're not in a bubble. So you have to do that grassroots analysis to know where you're at. And then you make a decision based off of that. Is this a good place to invest? Then you look at cash flow. So do you really care what the market's doing? If you're cash flowing, if you're just locked into a property and you got $1,000 a month coming in, do you care where housing prices are? If inflation goes up, rents go up. So if the value of money goes down, your rents are going to increase. You're going to get more cash flow. It's going to offset the inflation. So putting yourself in this game is the best protection. It's a good question, though. Gems. So we dropped a lot of gems. Guys. I hope this helped. I'm dealing with like a weather storm, so I'm starting to lag here. So I think we should call it. We've been going for about an hour. If you guys want to tap into the mentorship program, you want to tap into anything, just reach out. You guys know how to get a hold of me. I hope this helped. I'm here to serve. So definitely tap in. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off.